Alright, what's going on, guys? So I'm here with I got a few CIB NES pickups. I've got 3 Super Nintendo games, and I got a couple Gameboy games. So let's go ahead and start with the Gameboy game because it's got a really good story to tell with this one. So I picked up Solar Striker, and I made a trade with a fellow St. Louis gamer, a pretty big collector, and the Super Nintendo games I picked up at V-Stock. So the first just loose Game Boy game I got, just saw this in a loose bin, and I asked him about it, and you know, this game's only about a $3 game or so, but that is Solar Striker. This was a release title for the Game Boy, and this was the first game that I ever owned for the Game Boy. This was a gift from my Aunt Mary Lou, and I had gotten the first original Game Boy, which was actually, I still have them. I still have mine and my brother's, so there they are. And then we had our serial numbers scratched in the back somewhere. But I got Burrito on there. Oh, there's my Mario Land. So yeah, so my original Game Boy. I had this original Game Boy. I took a 2-hour number 2 and basically played this game a whole bunch. And recently, or I should say last night, was the first time I played this game, listened to it or anything. I haven't even looked it up on YouTube since I had it in, you know, around the Game Boy's release. And just the game over, not the game itself really, but the game over jingle and this picture right here just instantly took me back to that moment in time and my neighborhood, and that feeling right there I've mentioned in my videos before is one of the greatest things that I've found about my video game collection. It puts my mind back in time. It doesn't last long, but some of you may know what I'm talking about, some of you may not, but to have that feeling from a $3 video game, that's what, to me, collecting is about. It's just that feeling where it takes you back. So, along with Game Boys here, the second Game Boy game I got is my second CIB Game Boy game, and that's Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. This is a pretty good looking box here. I thought they could have used an extra picture on there, but you know, I bet they tried to fit one on there and it was probably felt a little crammed. This, I believe this game, excuse me, I believe this game is the first introduction of Wario, but I may be wrong. I believe Wario is the first boss in this game. So, and I've got the manuals there. It comes with actually a poster. There comes this cool Game Boy poster here. That's very neat. I don't even know what that means. It's just a Game Boy. And in the back you can see like a little spec sheet. It's kind of a cool picture. And then there's the back. It's oh, advertising the Super Game Boy. Yeah, it's pretty badass. I didn't even see that until now. And then, of course, I've got the Nintendo Power subscription. And this is a warranty, I believe. Oh, no, that's just subscription. And then you got your manual there. So, yeah, I did order on Retro USB a whole bunch more packaging just to finish up my collection. I've got cases for Game Boy games coming up. I've got more Super Nintendo games coming. I've got more CIB NES coming, and I've got some dual CD cases coming for all my Final Fantasies and a couple PC Engine games that are dual that I have. And there's your CIB box, and this is one of the greatest things about CIB Game Boy is actually having this piece right here. It's this piece that we were so cruel to when we grew up and all threw away. Alright, on to the Super Nintendo here. So the first game I got is actually on in the background right now, and that is Pinocchio. I was actually playing it, and I'm pretty far right now. That's a great game. It's about a $7 to $10 game, but it is from 1996 though, and I was really surprised with just some of the graphics, and there are some graphical Easter eggs and treats in the game. For example, a stage I'm in now, there's a very dark, ominous background, and if you get to a certain part, you can actually catch a glimpse of a really dark moon. But you don't see the moon anywhere else in the level unless you go to this like hidden spot. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm enjoying that game right now. And I also picked up another game, and some of you might have seen this at the Chesterfield V-Stock for a while, but it is a rare game. It's a 5 on Nintendo Age, all across the board, I believe. And that's Namco's Suzuka 8 Hours. And it's a racing game, and what can you really expect? It's like, it just like scrapped together all the pieces of Mario Kart, it looks like, and you know, the racing aspects of Mode 7. It's alright. Music is top notch in this though. Namco did a great job with the music. And lastly, I got, for the Super Nintendo, I got Stunt Race FX. This game, Uniracers and I think unicycles or whatever that is, Uniracers in this game, I always get mixed up. And when I go to look at my collection to see if I have it, I always realize I don't have these. So I have passed on them a lot. But I did pick this up, and I think it was like $3.99, $4.99, maybe $5. So yeah, this is the first copy of Stunt Racer FX that I have had in a long time. I don't think I owned this growing up, but this was around. One of my best friends had this, or a close friend had this, so we did play this a lot with our friends and with each other. Alright, so that's the good stuff. I got another CIB Blaster Master, basically because I did not get the manual with the box and the game that I bought the other week. So I got a new CIB Blaster Master. It's much better condition. And if you notice here, it's one of the earlier releases. You can see the seal had changed there. So the round one, I believe this is their older seal and possibly their PAL seal. Universal, I don't know. And I think this is just the Nintendo of America seal, like the older one. But then again, this one here says Art Rev A on it. So, but this one's more common. So I don't really remember the story. Maybe some of you guys do know exactly which one's newer or older, or if there's something different to that. But yeah, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and hang on to this extra box now for a while, since it is a variant. Alright, another game I picked up the box and another copy of the game just so I could CIB this, but that is Archon. I had the manual, I had the game. You know, this is a game that I wanted for so many years. I passed up on a copy at Slackers in 2001, and I still have the image of reading that game so many times starting in the A's and not picking it up that I actually went back to Slackers in 2008 and 9 thinking I'd seen it recently then, or in 2009 or 10, but I didn't. So, you know, going from such an obscure game that I wanted to actually being one of the first, you know, few games that I've pieced together, 3 pieces, you know, got the game, got the manual, then got the box, feels kind of good. And this is a rare game. I believe the box and the manual are a little more rare than the game, obviously. That sounds a little weird. Sounds like that would always be the case, but it's not. Sometimes, well, they might be more uncommon, but as far as rarity goes, they're the same rarity. So yeah, nice to get Archon, and then I think that'll be the first A box I have too. All right, the next one I got here is a very nice looking copy of Pinball Quest. There's no dings or anything in this at all. And that's a CIB there. So this is an interesting game. I don't know if any of you have actually sat down and gave it a thorough play, but it's just it's a pinball game with a lot of RPG elements and like kind of medieval themes and fighting and stuff. It's kind of fun. All right, and last I got Exodus to you know, start off my Exodus collection. I had gotten Warriors of Destiny, and now I picked up a copy of Exodus. Really interesting front cover art there. Having a blown up picture of it makes you kind of look more closely at it, and it's got some neat stuff there. Kind of a bland background, but you know, it even says 5 years lithium battery saves, and here we are 25 years later. Which brings me to another point a fellow YouTuber mentioned. You know, there are people who are worried about these games lasting, and that's a conversation I'll get into a bit, because I've actually had discussions about the technical aspects of it, and then the merchandise aspect of it. So that's something I'll talk about in a future video. So, alright guys, well thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Peace.